The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome to this show. You will find it in your podcast app if you want to listen, and it's on YouTube if you want to watch as well. A show that is brought to you with Levi Solicitors, who will offer you a 10% discount on your legal fees on their full range of services. You can find those on the website along with full details and terms. Yeah, go on.
Do you know where you'll find them? 33 St Paul's Street. That's right. Centre of Leeds. It's one in Moortown as well.
Yeah.
But
you can use them
some new information.
You can use them from all over the country, though, can't you? Because they've got a website.
Yeah.
And people who can use phones, the internet.
Got emails.
Yeah.
Got it all.
Wow.
Yep.
LeviSolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Care home fees. Very important matter.
Yep.
Actually, for reasons I don't even need to get into on this show, was looking at care home fees. Fuck me. What an absolute minefield.
Yeah. Can be an off $1.5 grand, $2 a week.
I didn't mean the actual fees. I meant the
process of what you can get.
What you can and can't get. Yeah. Genuinely.
Complicated business.
Yeah, not having it. Speak to Levi Solicitors. LeviSolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. It's Dan, Michael, and Chris Mack. It's the weekly roundup at Elland Road. And Harry Gray's got the internet flapping. Joe Rodon is a goal machine. RADZ is coming back. You're looking forward to that? Wins for the women's team and the under-21s in Europe, no less. And we've got more fixture changes. So pick threads there if you like.
I feel like Harry Gray's the story of the moment, but there's not actually a story because he's just done some social media stuff and everyone's panicking.
So he's done the thing where the profile picture is changed to all black, and then he's like a sports person rather than the team that you play for, and everyone's decided that he's off, Chris.
People need to grow up. Like, find something better to do.
Right?
He's 17.
Right.
I'd put it like this. He may well be off. Who knows? I don't know anything about it, but I think Harry Gray is from a family who are a little bit more mature than to do something like that, to engineer a move or any of that nonsense that you see with modern football. You saw it with Archie. I'm sure Harry's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I struggle to get too attached to... After Archie went, I struggle to get too attached to any young players now. It's just not worth it. Never fall in love.
Yeah, you say that, but end of last season, it was nice, wasn't it, to have him singing his songs and stuff. But I mean, it might all be fine.
Yeah,
is the short version. It's a bit like the transfer window, isn't it? Sometimes you're better off just waiting rather than worrying.
He's also injured at the minute, which I think if he was fit and playing for the 21s, people wouldn't be as freaking out as much about it because they didn't see him in the team list. But Farke did name check him quite recently, saying that he has a hip injury.
Right. Okay. That's good to know. Not necessarily a good thing in itself, but it is good to know.
He injured his hip walking through the door at Man City to sign a contract, I heard.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh,
hit it off the door.
Say, Chris.
He does do his summer pre-season with Finlay Gorman, doesn't he? Which is,
has it been in his ear?
Hanging around with those. I mean, it's fair bad to call him a rat as a child, isn't he? He was misguided, probably, or he's doing really well at Man City, depending on which way you view it.
At the time of recording, Graham Smith tweeted out a link to an article, and the tweet is, Harry Gray is now 17, so that's worth just mentioning that he turned 17 last week. So a professional contract is possible. A new Leeds United contract is considered more of a when than an if.
Okay. Let's hope the club haven't been putting our aid on this. Yeah, he's coming. He's coming to sign the contract.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, would it?
His bus was cancelled. Oh, I'm sure he'll be here soon. He'll be on the next. Oh, no, he's not. He's in Manchester. Oh, dear. We'll see, won't we? We'll see. I mean, the thing is, the age he's at, he might still be rubbish. You don't know, do you?
No.
17-year-olds don't... A good 17-year-old doesn't turn into a good professional footballer all the time, do they? Like, often they are very highly rated and hyped up, and then they kind of don't really go anywhere.
He does look mature beyond his years in the way that he finishes and stuff like that, though. So I do think he's going to be a good player.
I do too, but I'm just trying to...
What you're doing is trying to find comfort in this.
I'm trying to cope with it.
But there's no use in him, I think, going to, say, like Man City or somewhere where he's just going to play in the under-18s. What's the point of that?
Yeah.
Like,
and
you saw it with Archie.
Can he now be loaned out if he wanted to as well? Now or is that 18, the cut-off for that?
I think he can be loaned in within England at 17.
Right.
It's externally at 18.
But presumably he would have to be on professional terms first.
Yeah, you would think so.
Right.
But if he was seeking a bit of game time, I mean, there are no options for him. Whereas when you're 16, you can't go out on loan anywhere.
Right.
Due to being a child.
Right.
So maybe there are options there as well.
Yeah. I know it's different with the Premier League, but like you saw it with Archie Gray, where it was sink or swim. They just chucked him into the first team, and by the end of the season, he's worth £40 million. He's off Spurs. I don't really know if you can do that with Harry Gray, but there's no more time to do mollycoddling players like this.
It's difficult in the position we're in. If we were more secure in the division, he'd almost be more likely to get minutes than in our current situation, where we have to we can't really take anything for granted. We're very unlikely to ever be comfortably in the lead in a game. So there's not the kind of, like how Arsenal brought on that kid when they were battering us. They have the luxury of doing that.
That cheating bastard.
That cheating little bastard, yeah. He did dive. He did dive. Because that's what they teach him at Arsenal. It's despicable.
I will say this. I will be angry about that, probably for at least 20 years. I will. Just in a low-key way.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I'll be like, you little prick.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. As a grown man, 3 times his age.
So I don't see necessarily where Gray plays for us this year.
What he does have, though, Michael, he has time on his side, and that's the thing. And I know there's always there's a keenness, and we saw it with Archie, to progress him on and get him game time, but he is still very young. He is freshly 17. So, I know Farker is quite averse to playing young players. He doesn't seem to really trust them. And maybe actually part and parcel of this season, as we saw with the recruitment, because everything's focused around the age of about 26, 27, that it's just a case of just bide your time, just build up
for a decade.
But just build up your game time with the 21s, because you're still only just 17. Just enjoy that for now, and we'll iron out the contract, and everything will be fine.
Fingers crossed.
In the long term.
And if it's not, oh well.
It's another stick to beat the club with. Everybody loves those.
Yeah, exactly. True enough. Speaking of which, I suppose we can segue straight into Andrea Radrizzani then, can't we? Because he's been chatting to the Daily Mail. Is it just me? Every time I see these, I just go, oh, come on, don't.
He stopped short of actually taking credit for Harry Gray, didn't he? Because he did, when he was talking about what a great state he left Leeds in, he did go on to say how that there were some big sales of people brought in under his ownership, and Archie Gray was mentioned in that. It's like, come on, that wasn't your work. There's no way you get to take any credit for that. And
by the way, this is not because he said anything controversial in this interview, or indeed the plan to come back. I just kind of, because he was a little bit of a bit needy. He was a bit of an attention seeker. He always felt like he needed the validation. That I grew a bit weary of that towards the end. And then afterwards, and it's that thing, it's the Ken Bates thing of an ex-chairman is a nobody, isn't it? You fall out of the spotlight and suddenly no one wants to know. And so I suppose you've got to go generate the publicity yourself by talking and doing interviews. But is there any appetite for really reading it? Is it just going to rile people?
Yeah, I didn't really understand the point of this interview, especially because he wasn't asked probably the most pertinent question about leveraging Elland Road.
Yeah.
To buy Sampdoria.
Which was it was the stuff that was turned up by the Athletic, wasn't it? Documents were seen whereby it had been offered up as collateral for him to secure the finance to buy Sampdoria.
Which is interesting because so much of the money in Sampdoria that came out in January from Josimar came from betting companies in Singapore. So, which actually in itself, if that had been presented at the time, Sampdoria probably would have been made bankrupt, because I don't think it's legal to be owned by a betting company in Italy. And they now own, the head of that betting company owns 58% of the shares. So I don't really know why. Maybe it was just that money wasn't available at the time. Who knows? But yeah, I don't really, he wasn't asked about that at all. He wasn't asked why he basically disappeared off the face of the earth at Sampdoria after about 2 months either. But I suppose that's not really pertinent to Leeds, is it? I did enjoy how the last line is, moments after we wrap our interview, Radrizzani texted me to say he is concerned about what the fan response will be. He clearly still adores the club. Is that why? Right.
If he knows, Andrea.
I think the thing is he wants to be thought of well, clearly.
But you do that. You just don't say. You just don't need to do anything.
Yeah, and it's hard when when you're in the process of getting the team you own relegated while trying to leverage stadium stuff. Like,
here's the thing,
some things you don't get to be remembered well when you've done certain things.
But equally, same as Pat Bamford, like time will smooth out any wrinkles. and people will remember him fondly. If we do stay up this year and then we manage to cement ourselves in the Premier League under the current ownership, he'll be remembered well for handing us over to the current ownership. All right, he should have probably gone sooner. Didn't necessarily have the money to compete and keep us up. But, you know, in the longer term, you can forget the relegation, I suppose, because it brought us the promotion, which was great fun. And we've got a new set of players coming through and, you know, creating a new little bit of short-term history. He'll be remembered well for bringing Bielsa in. In time, he'll be remembered well. All he has to do is just ride it out. He doesn't just don't say stuff.
I still think he'll always be remembered as the guy who sacked Bielsa.
Really?
Yeah, because it was quite a dark time, and he does talk about it. He said how it was. He has regrets about it, but that it was the rational approach to a problematic situation, and even the article kind of tries to justify it by saying that it was the decision that kept Leeds up that year, which I've massive concerns about that. But well, we'll not get into that again. No, I think he's kind of he's got a little bit too far gone. Like it's different whenever Pat Bamford, you know, misses a penalty against Newcastle to trying to basically use the stadium of the club that you own as collateral and sacking Bielsa and waiting too long to sack Jesse Marsh. I think he'll be remembered more for that, especially because Victor Orta gets a lot of credit for bringing Bielsa in.
The reason why I think it might be the other way, though, Chris, is because I remember, and you'll probably remember this as well, when Leeds were being sold to Caspian by the Leslie Silver ownership, and it was him and Gilman and Fotherby, wasn't it, with the three that were picked out, and there was graffiti around Elland Road. In fact, where the midfield mural is by the tunnel underpass, what was it? It was where the Bates stuff ended up as well, but it was
Fotherby, was it Thief, Crook, Liar or something? Something like that.
Yeah, it was those three, and they were graffitied as Thief, Crook, and Liar because what they did, the ownership at the time, they created a new class of shares, which gave them a far greater ownership and wealth of the club when it was sold, to the detriment of some minor shareholders, wasn't it?
Is that right? I can't remember the details.
So all, you know, let's say Leeds United had 100 ordinary shares and they owned 60% of it between the three of them. They created a new class of share, which was valued even higher, because as the board they could do that. Anyway, what it meant is they each walked away with, and you laugh at it now, it was something like £9 million each or something, wasn't it? Or maybe even £3 million each, which I say it's in modern terms it's laughable, but it was seen as a sign of avarice at the time, and they were thought of badly in the process of that sell-up. But then with the passage of time, people then look back and say, well, actually, he delivered us the championship and Wilkinson. People kind of do over time, and it does maybe it does take decades, I don't know, start to look at him slightly more fondly.
I suppose the thing with Radrizzani, he was putting money in when we were in the championship. Like we were losing quite a lot under him and under Bielsa. And while we weren't able to compete we weren't up to parachute payments of spending, we were kind of at our limits of what we could spend.
Do you mean Cellino rather than Bielsa?
What did I say?
You said Bielsa. I knew what you meant, because I was just thinking he's going to be the bridge between.
I mean, in Bielsa. Sorry, while Bielsa was in charge, we were overspending.
Right.
Under Bates and Cellino, we very much cut our cloth accordingly.
Oh, sorry, right, misunderstood.
And we were kind of, you know, we were scraping by with cheap players, whereas we did see investment in the team under Radrizzani.
Yeah,
and when Bielsa was there.
I do think he pulled the ladder up at one point towards the end, though, didn't he? Stop putting money in.
Well, yeah, cause when Victor Orta was wearing his 49ers hoodie.
Yeah.
Was that the Ruta signing that he unveiled, and he was wearing that, and it was like, oh, okay.
But yeah, I just wonder if in the long term he's just seen as the bridge between Cellino and the end of the madness. And even though he was a little bit precious and needy, actually he then delivered us into potentially far more sensible hands.
Yeah, he does deserve credit for being ambitious, because you had Bates and then you had those idiots, JFH, and then Cellino. And Bates and Cellino basically were just completely averse to risk or spending money or anything like that. And it did kind of take someone like Radrizzani, who I think his ambition is probably his greatest asset, but also his Achilles heel in a sense, because it ends up catching him out at the end, basically with all the summer 2022 transfers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I did quite enjoy how he said he thought that Cellino was a great football man.
Yeah, which I'm not sure the fans of the many clubs he's owned and potentially bankrupted would necessarily go along with that.
It does feel a little bit damned by faint praise, doesn't it?
What to say?
Just it's great football, man.
It was very lively.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a little bit like the Bielsa about Ideguchi, having a lot of respect for the Japanese people. It's general enough to kind of to throw a blanket over it, but nothing specific.
I think there is. I can sort of understand where he's coming from in the sense that Chelino has had some success, but he's probably not a good football man. He's more just like a ruthless bastard.
Yeah.
At the same time, who has absolutely no, like, he doesn't care about anyone else except himself. I would say, like, he doesn't care about the football clubs, which is almost sort of what it takes to do anything in the lower echelons of Italian football, where it can be a little bit wild west still.
How are Brescia doing?
Yeah.
Have they restarted yet?
Yeah, but they were their license as such. The name Brescia now belongs to a club called Feralpi Salo, who were owned by a steelworks company, and they sort of took this amateur club up into Serie B. They got relegated. It's near Brescia. Brescia went bust, and they took the license. So the club that was Feralpi Salo are now called Union Brescia, and they are Brescia, but they're not really Brescia because they had to let go of all their players, but they get to play in the stadium and have a badge that kind of looks like the old badge.
Did Chelino just lose his money on Brescia then?
I think he just walked out. Yeah.
He always threatened to do that at Leeds, didn't he? There were a few times he was like, I'm going to go. And then people were like, okay, cool, we'll take it over then. And he was like, no, I'm only kidding.
I would assume he's gone back to America because he was in Sardinia over the summer and the police intercepted a bunch of Brescia ultras traveling to Sardinia. That's like a good 1,000-mile trip. So I don't know really what they mean.
They mean business. If you've gone that distance.
What I'm going to do, I'm just going to miss this one. I'm just going to stay here in Florida.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the sunshine. Speaking of Italians, Willy Nonto being linked to Saudi Arabia. Couple of clubs there that I don't really care about, I've not heard of, being rumoured to be interested. It's one of those, isn't it, where you go, I suspect there's a sale for big money at some point in our not too distant future. And let's not in any way hang this one on Harry Gray that we were talking about before. If we can sell somebody for good money, perhaps at a slightly inflated value, you almost go, do you know what? Fine. And I suspect probably Willy Nonto does fall into that category for a substantial number of people.
I mean, he would need replacing immediately if we were to sell him. I will say that. We've seen that Dan James hasn't had enough of a go at it, has he? But Brendan Aronson is not the answer on the right-hand side. Willy Nonto, I would rather was in the team if he was fit. But equally, there's a large... him and Strauch are probably the two most obvious... and Harry Gray, the two most obvious PSR sales we could make, aren't they? Because we bought Nonto a few years ago for not very much. So anything we make on him becomes a profit, which then you can multiply by whatever is essentially the contract you offer the new player.
Yeah.
That's more or less how it works, isn't it? Amortization-wise?
Yeah, assuming you've got the money to pay it out in the long term, it essentially multiplies your money by 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. Because it's...
that's a very rough rule of thumb.
It's a never-ending, on the never spending scale, isn't it? Essentially, that you can do. So, I kind of want him to stay. Is my instinct.
I do too, but I do wonder about the Saudi Arabia move because we said before, who else has the money and interest to buy him? Because the interest is definitely there in Italy, but no one has the money. I wouldn't say it's there in the Premier League, but the money's there. Saudi Arabia definitely has both. Yeah,
and then maybe so he goes there, does one contract, ends up back in Italy at a slightly knocked down fee or whatever.
I don't even know what would be a fair price for Nonto.
You probably get 20 million for him from a Saudi club.
I think you get more than that.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think you can maybe double it at a push if you're hard enough.
You want £40 million for Willy Nonto?
I won't be surprised. You could get 30 or 40. It's wild, isn't it?
I would accept £40 million. I'm sorry, Willy.
But you can ask any amount of money because it doesn't matter, does it? To the buying club, really. If you're prepared to drive a hard enough bargain.
Well, I guess so. The golf thing that lost like 500 million or something.
Some of the fees that said, why not push for it? I think we always undervalue our players because we always imagine selling them 15 or 20 years ago. But the market's gone absolutely insane. He's got Premier League experience and has shown that he's capable enough at that level. Ask £40 million for him. You don't get anything else for 40 million quid. He's a winger.
Ivan Toney went for about 40 million, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was...
No. I'm just trying to think of a benchmark of...
But he was
someone
he was
else.
running his contract down, wasn't he?
Mm.
Pay us £40 million for him.
That Neom club there, I think they're the newest Saudi club.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are building the line.
The big line thing, yeah.
And there's a whole like village there, isn't it? Where that line is going to run across the entire country, like the residential, like a big mirror thing in the desert, isn't it? It's proper futuristic and dystopian.
Their transfer business is quite interesting because it's a weird mix of like Alexandre Lacazette and Ben Rama, but also they've signed a couple of like young French hipster centre backs and players that are probably going to go up in value over the next couple of years.
How old Lacazette? I actually didn't know he was still playing. Feels like he's been around forever.
He's only 34.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Where were these rumours, by the way? Was it just internet tittle-tattle or what?
What, for Nonso?
Yeah.
I don't know where they started, actually. They've been reported now in a million different places.
And these things kind of snowball. I don't know if it's a good source. I did see it sort of emerge, but again, I'm trying to stay off socials if possible, just because it's a big doom spiral.
A couple of years ago, he'd said it maybe was from his agent, but he's changed agent, hasn't he, since then?
Yeah.
And he's been a much better boy.
He's got rid of that rocket, Claudio Vigarelli, you call him, just a complete madman.
Yeah.
We shall see, we shall see with that one. 21s played against Athletic Club from the Basque region in that European competition that it blindsided me a bit, did this one, but we played him in York anyway. Is that Europe? It's European enough, isn't it?
It's a European team for definite.
Yep.
It's a Roman city as well, so.
That's true.
So Rob actually went to that, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we'll catch up on that and what that was like, seeing the 21s. But we won there 2-0 with goals from Cresswell and White. Women won 1-0 at Huddersfield.
Northern football.
Northern football.
That's what they were failing to play. Huddersfield, that is.
Yes. Fixtures-wise, we've got the next round of changes in that run us to just before pre-Christmas. Leeds United versus Chelsea at 8:15 on Wednesday, the 3rd of December, feels particularly egregious.
That's too late.
It's a bit ridiculous, isn't it?
Is that for Amazon? That one.
I don't think they've got the rights anymore. I think it's only TNT and Sky have got
It's
them
just
now.
that slot, though, where they...
But that's the same. It's the Amazon slot.
Stagger the games.
Yeah, so they start one at 7:30, one at like 7:45, one at 8, one at 8:15, and we've got the bum deal there.
I mean, it don't make much difference, does it? 8?
Not hugely, but it just does push it. It's going to push the finish in towards midnight, isn't it? Because we get out of here quite late anyway.
And also not that I give a fuck about Chelsea fans, but clearly Chelsea's quite far from Leeds.
Actually, yeah, that's going to knacker them for the trains, isn't it?
So, yeah.
If it's London, though, will they put like an extra train on? I'm sure there's late trains to London. It's not like...
Oh, actually, yeah, they do run that sort of all night, don't they? I think.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not our problem, is it? I mean, for the London Whites, good luck to you, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is actually a fair point, because you might actually be able to get back to London, but weirdly, like, you won't be able to get back to, Castleford at that time, given the way...
Are you offering lifts?
Yes, I'll just shuttle back and forth for the rest of the night, if necessary. Get people home.
It's 5 a.m. Can I go home yet? No. The Liverpool game on the Saturday that follows that as well, that's been moved to 5:30.
Yeah, that'll be quite good.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, but we were kind of hoping to have some bit of a Christmas drinks after that, though. So I think that's kind of out the window, because you're probably not getting out of here till like closer to 9 o'clock.
We could just drink
Just
on
go
the
out anyway.
Just have drinks on the match ball.
Yeah.
Festive drinks.
But yeah, when they move later, I generally don't mind them too much. Is the rule? It's the early ones that are shy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the disgust that people will have of Brentford against Leeds being a Super Sunday game.
I feel like Brentford always play Leeds on a Sunday, especially at home. Usually whenever Leeds are at home, but it's usually that sort of dreary 2 p.m. slot.
Mm. Well, I mean, so going to a League One team and all that, be nice.
I've just checked the trains for December. I don't know if they're not out yet, but it's saying no trains are available at all.
Oh, good.
So,
yeah.
Tuk-tuk?
Oh, is this you getting the reading because there's no hero of the week?
I suspect they've just not been scheduled yet. I've gone back a few days and the trains
Is there any availability for tuk-tuk tours in northern Thailand?
I think there might be.
Good.
Yeah. There is... Oh, actually, if you happen to travel on, let's say, Friday night, on the Friday the 28th of November, you can set off at 11:30. There's a train from Leeds, which gets in at 7 a.m.
To northern Thailand?
No. To London. but it's a 7.5 hour journey with one change, which is, so that gets you to Doncaster just after midnight, but then you train from Doncaster to London is 5 a.m.
Oh, you've got the night in Donny then.
So what would you do all night? You've got 4 hours and let's say 4 hours to kill.
Biscuit Billy's.
Right.
I think the walkabout's shut. Where else was terrible in Doncaster? I can't remember the names of anywhere else now. There'll be somewhere probably to go. Maybe not till 5 a.m. though. Christ, that'd be a desperate situation in Doncaster.
Yeah, there seems to be a complete and utter lack of. I'm trying to go backwards through the dates now, and there's no journeys can be found whatsoever. I don't know if it's just because my search parameters are bad, but feels like not ideal anyway for any form of travel at that time of night. But I suppose it is what it is. We can't change it, can we?
Yeah. Leeds against Palace, 2 p.m. on a Sunday. Now that'll be shit.
Yeah.
Although it's Sunday, the 21st of December, a lot of people will have knocked off from work then.
True.
So you might find that it's a bit more festive and fun.
Or is everyone hungover? Because they've gone out
on the Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
Well, Black Friday is the not Black Friday. That's the shopping extravaganza. Mad Friday. Yeah. Is the Friday before that?
Yeah, I've arranged to go out that day, so I'm still. In some ways, it's quite good because it means I don't have to go to Elland Road hungover. But I'm quite old, so I'm probably still going to be hungover at midday on Sunday when I get to Elland Road.
There is something quite bleak about those 2 p.m. kickoffs. I don't know quite what it is. Particularly cold December. In fact, that's the shortest day of the year, isn't it? December the 21st. So it'll start getting dark probably at about half time there.
Lovely.
Great. That's bleak. Yeah, that's bleak.
It's hunkered down for winter, eh?
The Sunday before that, Brentford away. 4:30 p.m. kickoffs with a Super Sunday game.
Yeah,
at Brentford.
Yeah.
I wonder why Sky have done that.
They're legally obliged to give each team a slot of Super Sunday. So have they gone 2 birds, 1 stone there? Go and get these 2 fucking shit houses out of the way. These 2 long ball merchant teams get them playing each other.
There's a game. Oh no, it's on the Monday night. Man United, Bournemouth. It must be something to do with Europe.
Yeah.
It's all over the shop that weekend.
It will be because the Palace game has been moved because they're in Europe on the Thursday, so it'll be a European midweek. So they're leaving us on the late slot because we're a non-European club, but we should be in Europe because we are the biggest club in the world.
Correct.
Well, Fulham Nottingham Forest was moved to the Monday night. So obviously Forest are in Europe around that time too, but thankfully we're the Sunday. I think a Monday night would have been dreadful.
Yeah.
We're going to have to face Sean Dyche, aren't we, when we play Forest soon? Do you reckon Ange lasts?
Nah.
No.
I don't know. I've just been hoping just with the calendar because the Forest game is leading into the next international break, isn't it?
Oh, they might pull the trigger then.
He just hangs on enough that it gives him the next couple of games to right the ship, and if that doesn't work, so we've got one.
Well, he seems like a level-headed guy, so I'm sure he'll do something like that.
Well, yeah, well, there's 4 games between now and the next international break, but yeah, we go into the break away. That's a 2:00 Sunday kickoff down there. A week, so we could be the final nail in the coffin. All be well.
He could sack Ange at halftime, like WWE. The music comes on, and then comes Sean Dyche.
Yeah. The last time we played at Forest, Jesse Marsh got sacked.
Right.
So
there's form for it.
There's form for something. I don't know.
Bring him back and sack him again.
Yes, so no heroes and villains this week. But I'm sure we'll have something to say after that Forest game.
Apart from Bruce from the Tuk Tuk Club.
Who's our hero.
Who's a hero.
Yep.
For sponsoring a segment that's not in the podcast this week.
Well, let's give him the love. The tuktukclub.com, TSB15 for 15% discount on your booking. I will say, actually, I know we're basically giving him a freebie here, but he does have some availability, does Bruce, for it's next summer, and I'm going to read it out in Bruce's words. We've still got some spaces in the summer of 2026 and a handful in early July to avoid being fleeced by Infantino and FIFA with their World Cup ticket prices. Join the 8th of July start date, and you can see England losing the semi-finals from the mountains of northern Thailand, and then be back in Chiang Mai City, or even get to the beach in time for the final on the 19th. Much more fun than being rounded up by ice and shelling out bonkers prices for World Cup tickets. The beer's cheaper and better in Thailand too. Or something along those lines. That's what he said.
you probably actually can have like 2 weeks in Thailand for the same price as that England ticket. So do that instead.
While you're out there, you can go and visit former Leeds United player and now manager of Buriram United, Mark Jackson.
Is that where he's gone?
He's just gone to Thailand, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, Bruce is saying 4 or 5 spaces left for July the 8th. And unlike FIFA, we don't use dynamic pricing. There we go. What a great freebie that was.
Yeah, well done us.
Thank you. Thanks, Michael.
Although I have just
Well done,
looked up
Michael.
Chiang Mai to Buriram, which is where Jackson is, and it's a 4-hour flight.
Right.
Oh, it'll probably take a while on a tuk-tuk.
Either way. So we'll be back with Heroes and Villains next week after the football resumes, and we will feed all the data into the imaginary supercomputer room and basically just chuck some shade at some people. Right, we'll wrap it up there then. Back with more next week. Look out for the Burnley preview with AD White, which we're going to record tomorrow lunchtime, so that'll be out in time for the game on Saturday. That one, not Super Sunday, Burnley versus Leeds?
No.
Super Saturday?
No, I mean, after the pulsating game we had there last year, I'm amazed it's not been given a prime slot.
I mean, we'll get into this with AD White, but I am interested to see how we set up there this year, whether we try and play and be expansive or whether we completely shithouse them.
We have to go and try and win that game.
Yeah. But do we do it by kicking them or by passing around them? Or both? A combination.
Get up and at them.
Let's try it. Right, we'll be back with AD White tomorrow and plenty more stuff next week. Look out for that. See you in a bit.
The Square Ball Podcast.